What's up, YouTube? It's Todd Horst here with Taste Tracker, and today I wanted to go over the small account challenge update. What trades I made today. So I did make a couple small trades, especially with stocks. I didn't open up any positions as far as options are concerned. So first thing, if we look at SPY here, I'm expecting us to get to 420 on 420, just because the meme is a little bit too strong. Definitely we are getting to a point where we're overbought, but at that point we can continue to go up higher, and stay there for an extended period of time. So if we look back in here, you might say, oh, well, it's definitely going to turn around there. But in fact, we had gone up for, several days here, the 19th. Yeah, so basically 2 months we continued to go up, even though we are at a period here which is overbought. So it definitely doesn't necessarily mean anything that we're getting to a point here where we're extended, even though the MACD, again, is higher than what I would typically like to see. So moving over to the current holdings, right now I'm sitting at 1726. Still have Siri. I did get rid of Roku, sold that for about a $20 profit, and now I have 8 shares of DAL. Disney is just kind of hanging around. So we'll start from the top of, Roku. Why did I get rid of that? So basically, I definitely think it has room to push up, certainly up here to the 450 range. Mainly looking off the RSI. MACD in this last 3 months with the bit of the downturn is kind of out of sorts. So I'm putting less emphasis on that at the moment. And so it definitely could come up here from 388, 390 range up to 450. So that's potentially a $60 range there that I could make, that I'm potentially missing out on. What I'm kind of figuring will happen will be that it pops up here, gets somewhere in the 410 range, and then comes back down here to confirm the 50. At that point, I would be interested in getting in again. MACD and RSI should be good to go at that point, but I'm okay potentially foregoing those gains, because there is a chance here that it comes down here and wants to confirm with the 20-day again. So we'll see. So I didn't get out of this because I was afraid of anything tragic happening. It was just more the point that if MACD were to mean something, which I'm discounting it, but that doesn't mean it's irrelevant, then we could see potentially some consolidation in this area before it wants to move up. So I just exchanged the shares for DAL, Delta. Airlines obviously are picking up. They're still not at their pre-COVID highs. So it at least has room to run up to $57, $60 range. We had a pretty significant drop here on earnings. I say significant. There was a bit of a drop on earnings, and I see that more as an opportunity to buy as opposed to some warning sign. So we definitely should be able to get up here to $50. So the thought here is I can make a quick $5 to $10 here very easily in the next week. Again, we're getting close, maybe we have one more down day, but then we're getting close to the level here where MACD wants to turn around. We're already at a level where RSI wants to turn around. So there's a good potential that we get a nice turn up here in the short term. So, looking to make $20, $30 here, and then potentially go back to Roku or something else, depending on where things go, how things evolve. So Siri, that's the free stock I got. Not really worried about that. SPY I don't own. That's in my favorites list. And so Disney is the last thing that we own here. So if we go to Disney, I own I sold the 180. So I need this to go above 180. Currently it's sitting at 185. So still definitely got plenty of room. This bottom green line here is 180. So as long as it stays above that before this yellow line, will be good. It's just kind of messing around here. It bouncing underneath of the 50. And I expect here that in a couple days, if not tomorrow, maybe early next week, we should get above the 50. And when that happens, we should, as usual, we'll see an uptick. So these levels here at 193, 197, and somewhere up in here in 200 are all areas that are potentially resistance. If we look at the chart, or the indicators down here, MACD and RSI both look really good, that we could be headed for a turnaround. The only question mark here obviously is earnings. I think that if we continue on this trajectory and are somewhere in here in the 190 range, we should be fine even with earnings, unless it's a terrible loss. But I actually have high hopes for this earnings season, because last earnings season was kind of poor, and so they adjusted guidance for everything, and so that should open the door for us to do pretty well here coming up. Okay, so if we go over to Tasty Tracker here, here's the Disney one. That's not new. If I go to stock positions, we just see the DAL and then Roku, $21 profit on that one. If I go to options history, we can see the Deer position that we closed. Was that yesterday? No, that was today. For $75, which is a little bit over 30%. That's definitely over the 50% potential profit, and netted $101. So that's obviously great. If we go to that chart, yeah, I mean, I still think this is actually a pretty good entry if you wanted to, because the RSI is still pretty hot. 20-day has had this nice steep climb up here. I would probably not be getting into May at this point. I'd be getting into June expiration. But if you wanted to play this play back to back, I still think that's a good opportunity. The only reservation I have is I typically don't like to play plays back to back. That tends to burn me, so I typically give it a couple days, with the sort of the thought process that whatever caused me to, if it's a bullish position, whatever caused it to close, say it pops up, then it's going to come back and retrace. And so you want to allow it time to come back, retrace a little bit, and consolidate before you enter in again. That's not necessarily the case here, because we just had that small pop, but we're still behaving on the 20-day. But you can see the steepness of the 20-day is getting a little bit less steep. I guess you could also say that, make that argument back here, through here and stuff. So, I guess what's, comforting to me about the positives of entering it again would be the MACD and RSI doing pretty well there. Okay, so I think that's basically it. Right now, again, account sitting at 1726. So we're about 275 from getting away to 2000. At that point, if you wanted to withdraw the $1,000 that we had to contribute to get it back up and running, that's an idea. At this point, I'm fairly certain I'll continue with the 2000 and just pretend like I never started off with 1,000. I didn't think that went. It was way too slow, and I don't think it went very well. At this point, I've got $1,000 sitting here in cash, ready to go. Once I see some positions that open up that look interesting to me, I think we'll get there probably in within the next 2 weeks. There'll be some positions that are opening up. At the moment, what I'm seeing is a lot of tech kind of getting overbought here, where RSI is up, MACD is kind of curling down. We're kind of getting to the tops of a lot of ranges. So yes, it is very possible that Amazon pops up here above my channel, but the odds are kind of, in my opinion, the odds favor that we'll come back down here for retest. Google, same thing, coming back down here. What did I miss? Facebook. Facebook's already up. So at this point, Facebook might just be consolidating above this recent high here, since it cleared that and waiting for the 20-day to catch up. So this isn't necessarily a bad time to, after a couple days entering, I would say after earnings for sure. But so this one is a little bit more convincing, and that's very possible that, like I said, that Amazon gets back there, where it does a pop up here and then consolidates above that. But at this point, I would not be at all surprised if we come down at least to the SMAs where they're all consolidating at this point. I doubt we come back down here to 3,000, but definitely 3,200 to me seems likely on this go around because we're extended. Because we had to come the whole way from down here, the whole way to the top. If it comes down here and consolidates, then it'll have more gumption to get above and break that channel. So I'm really looking for that on the next iteration, but not this one. So I'm personally hoping that we see a rotation as they go down into some energy stocks. A lot of the green energy, has seen this kind of chart here where they're basically oversold. They've kind of been treading water here, not really going below this support, but continuing to follow the 20-day down, and where they're all wedging at this point. So if I look at Plug, I tweeted about this. Yeah, so Plug incidentally just failed that support line. SunPower was the other one. And that's a bit below support. It's not super concerning at this point. Let me thin that line out. Something like that. So, but yeah, I don't want to give it any more space than that. Down to 24 to 26 is a little bit of a that's why I made the line fatter to sort of occupy that entire area. But yeah, if it goes much lower than that, I'm getting concerned. I do have positions in, I don't have Plug, but I have SunPower and Sag. So anyway, yeah, I'm hoping we get an uptick in green energy, especially if stuff with Biden, has an uptick. So I don't know. Okay, apart from that, I think that's all I wanted to cover today. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you're still on the stream, it says 4 concurrent viewers, which I don't particularly understand, because then if I click on participants, it's only showing myself. But if you're out there and you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat and I'll answer them. All right. Since there's no questions, I will leave it there and we'll see if this actually worked or not. But thanks everyone. Have a good day.